I can't believe what Valve did to Dota 2. It's honestly pretty incredible. One of the biggest gameplay patch updates ever just dropped in Dota 2 by Valve, and I can't believe it. It basically changes the entire game almost. Well, by and large the game is still a MOBA with 3 lanes where you play Dire against Radiant, but so much has changed. All 125 heroes have changed fundamentally, and if you were to do a full patch review of the changes, this could take 10 hours or more, and some people are reviewing it for that long or more. It's pretty crazy. With gameplay update 7.36, Valve dropped the motherload of changes, and this is off the back of several developments that would lead me to believe that maybe not much was going to change anymore. You see, Valve is the original creator of the Battle Pass with Dota 2 a long time ago, maybe about 13 years ago or so by now. Initially called the Compendium and then eventually the Battle Pass. Many other developers all over the world would end up copying the system of the Battle Pass, which is basically, it was both a crowdfunding of the prize pool of the International, the flagship tournament for the esports of Dota 2, but also it was a way to have a kind of communal effort and an individual effort towards unlocking new aesthetics, new heroes, all kinds of new skins and arcanas, all the while grinding experience, unlocks, and doing special challenges in Dota 2. It was a season of frenzy, and it would happen across October and November in the season leading up to the international yearly tournament that was happening every time. Now, the Battle Pass had recently been discontinued, and after that Valve had released information, and during that Valve had released information that they were going to be able to start focusing on more gradual updates all over the year. Right? Not just concentrating all the aesthetics across the end of the year when Battle Pass season is happening, which they said much of their efforts went towards working on that, but actually having gradual updates all over the year where there'd be fun events and new content dropping for people. Now, some people, some doom and gloomers started saying, where is it then? Where is it then? We're waiting for it. And as of recently, Reddit was pretty pessimistic. I know, that's hard to believe. That's really hard to believe. But if you've been following discourse from some of the louder chatters, Valve wasn't delivering on new big updates anymore. And to be honest, I get it. The game is by now 14 years old, longer if you count the Dota 1 ancestry of Warcraft 3. And I personally started playing it about 2 years ago, and I recently, a couple of months ago, I stopped playing. Maybe I play again someday, I don't know yet, but I love the game very much, and I think it's a 10 out of 10, and I haven't played it in a bit, but I still love the game, and I'm wondering how much of my extensive learning of the game has been undone by heroes being reworked. So we're going to be looking at some of the changes that happened with the patch, basically just the concept. I'm not going to go for like full 10-hour breakdown and review. I'll look at some of the funniest gameplay clips on Dota Cinema, etc., and I'll look at some of my favorite heroes that I like to play, especially in the last couple of months. But I just want to underline how unusual it is that a game developer changes this much in a game, and then soon you'll get the point. I mean, if we kind of scroll through, this is how much changed. I'm holding page down and it's not ending until it does. It's pretty crazy. So obviously there's a lot to digest there, and I was happy to read in a Reddit post when I woke up today that some people don't read the patch notes at all. They just start playing and start saying, yo, my hero's bugged, Tinker's not refreshing items cooldown with rearm. I mean, if you don't know Dota 2 and you're just watching me because you know me, then I guess it's not that funny. But if you do know Dota 2, it's very funny, and screw Tinker players. And yeah, there was a lot of people confused about how their hero was working suddenly because they didn't read the patch notes. They thought maybe it's some number changes. So this is, I believe, called Crownfall Update number 2. But I want to underline how unusual it is. Most game developers would be so lucky to get a game that is as popular and widespread and globally interesting and profitable as Dota 2. Therefore, if you have that formula, what you would normally see is DLCs, expansions, maybe some add-ons, small changes to keep things interesting, seasons, But what Valve has been doing the last 10 years and more is large, sweeping changes, really risky changes. Now, I always think, okay, how do you get players into a game? You market for the game, right? You pay for marketing, you get content creators to play your game, you start buying ads, you try to get in the news, and then when people learn about your game, then that's an opportunity to get new players. But what a new player usually doesn't get attracted to is hearing this hero changed from ABC to XYZ. Like, it's all the same to them because they don't know the game yet. In my opinion, new players come in due to the community, self-seeding advertisement, like YouTubers, Twitchers, and even just word-of-mouth players, people that want to play together, and through marketing. What generally loses players is general lack of interest, apathy, game becoming worse, community becoming worse, and unpopular changes by the developers, such as what we saw with Helldivers, which is partially a publisher problem, but suddenly shutting access to certain countries for your game because they can't get a Sony subscription. That's going to be part of it, but also sometimes there could be unpopular specific gameplay changes that make people quit because you ruined their favorite hero, they don't like the new state of affairs anymore. For instance, about a year ago, Dota 2 made their map from this big, not to true scale, this big. And then they just added in a whole new layer of new monsters and NPCs and walking terrain and objectives. And that feels really risky to me, but the center part was mostly still the same. Not entirely, but mostly. Still, a pretty big risk to take. And I always think, who asked, right? Nobody ever asked, let's make the map bigger. They just did it because they're a developer. They don't make a lot of games anymore. They're still waiting for Half-Life 3. But they are a developer that doesn't rely on their games doing well to be able to make ends meet. So they're able to take such risk, and I'm sure like if Dota like combusted and they'd be kind of disappointed and they'd wonder, they do a post-mortem like what happened, how did we destroy the game, how did everyone quit, but it wouldn't affect their bottom line. So they're able to take such large risk. And like I mentioned, one of the reasons people may quit a game is apathy or staleness. Valve has made sure Dota 2 has never become stale. When I started playing Dota 2 for the first time, I heard about all kinds of crazy mechanics that are gone now because the game has been changing so much. So I'm very bemused by the changes that are happening here. And let's jump into some of them. The first, one of the biggest ones, let me turn this music down a bit. One of the biggest ones is that every hero now gets a kind of passives. Let's jump into it. Later we'll also look at some clips from Dota Cinema. We'll go over some other clips as well. And for now, let's just jump into some changes. So innate abilities are going to be new. Introducing innate abilities. Kind of like passives. Now in League of Legends and Heroes of the Storm, passives already exist, right? They're called a trait in HOTS. And in League of Legends, I don't know if they have a categorical name. But it looks like that's coming to Dota 2. Abilities that are present on the hero for the entire game. From the very beginning of every match, every hero has a unique innate. So, League of Legends already has this. Heroes has it, but Dota 2 never had it. If you wanted to have a passive that's active, you had to skill point into it once, twice, 3 times, or 4 times to make it stronger. Some innates grant a hero a unique effect. For example, Dawnbreaker reveals the whole map to allies when the sun rises. That's so crazy. It's like they just don't care. They just went in. I'm sure they had some kind of meeting where they said, hey, let's shake things up a bit. We've unshackled ourselves from the development cycle of Battle Pass creation. Let's start cooking on this. Are we okay if everything blows up? Yeah? Cool? Okay. Then let's start going crazy. We'll go by their names. If their name is Dawnbreaker, we'll make sure that it brings vision as it becomes day. That's crazy, dude. That's so cool. I also think it's scary, right? Like, of course, I'm not playing right now, so it doesn't affect me directly. But it is, in a way, scary. Like, everything changes. What if players don't like it? But that's the thing. Normally, I would counsel a successful game not to change too much, because the risk that people quit is greater than that you have a chance to get people to come into the game, especially a game that has kind of a large learning barrier like Dota 2. I think any big changes are more likely to drain the player pool than to attract new players. Though I will say part of the new player pool in a game like Dota 2 or Warcraft 3 is people that have quit but are coming back because they heard something cool and new happened. So your potential player pool of player acquisition as a developer is also people that can come back to the game. But there is an exception to this rule, because this is a grubby rule, like don't change too much, it's not safe, it's risky. There is an exception. If you are skillful enough of a developer, if you are creative enough, if you believe in yourself enough, if your vision is true and pure, then it can be a plus. Because the game doesn't become stale, it's exciting, there's a lot of new things to learn. Dota 2 being one of the more difficult games in existence, obviously it's being played by people that do feel strategically compelled to dive into the thick of things, to dive into the details and to learn more about the game and whatnot. Other innates change a hero ability to have 5 levels and get a free ability point at level 1. Okay, so you know what? Isn't that kind of like Medusa? That is like Medusa. Medusa already has a passive, shield, and then she can level it up. So I guess that's their test subject. They tried this with Medusa Mana Shield, and now they're going to apply that system to more. And I feel like Valve does a lot of testing with things without letting us know that it's testing. Now that there's been leaks of Valve's new game, which we'll also look at a bit now, in fact, I also wonder how many of these changes in Dota 2 are for them to get more experience about things. Because Dota 2 recently had matchmaking overhaul, kind of. And I need people in chat to tell me if you feel like that has been successful or not. You can check the quality of a match before you go into a match, and then you can refuse it, and it's going to tell you about people's behavior and skill. And then you can cancel out of it. I feel like maybe that wasn't a very good system because it's just going to create much longer queue times. And I didn't think the detailed information is going to be that reliable. I don't know if you guys like it or not. But there's been a leak recently of Valve's new hero shooter. And fans are confused. Deadlock, it's called. It looks to be a 6 versus 6 MOBA-like third-person character shooter. So it's kind of like Overwatch meets Dota 2. If you see some screenshots and some gameplay, you'll notice that it looks very Overwatchy. But then if you see the top-down minimap, you see that there's 3 or 4 lanes. And unlike Smite, it seems like the vertical direction is being used quite a bit. I thought that was interesting, Smite. But Smite, you could not look up or shoot up. So it was only partially a shooter. This is like a proper shooter. So it's pretty interesting. But yeah, how much of the changes to the matchmaker would also be to learn more, since apparently, and if the leaks are to be believed, and they seem pretty reliable, soon there's going to be another new Valve game since a long time ago. Pretty interesting. Okay, let's go on to some other changes. Introducing Hero Facets. Facets are a hero customization choice that provide the ability to better align the playstyle of a hero with a specific match or player preference. Facets are specific to heroes. Each hero has at least 2 facets, and every player can choose the facet they prefer during strategy time at the beginning of each match. That's crazy. How long do you get to think about that? So you're in draft, and by the end of it, you look at the situation and you make a real meaningful strategical decision. Of course, League of Legends has this as well, right? Heroes of the Storm doesn't have this. In League, you choose your rune page, right? You choose your runes at the start. Of course, I was too new in the game to understand which one I should pick based on the situation. But after draft, you make a strategical decision there as well. Though I feel like this will have a bigger impact than the League rune pages. Viper can choose between adding an area of effect damage burst to poison attack, or increasing defensive buffs while Viper remains in Nether Toxin. Wow. Wraith King. Facet Bone Guard, Facet Spectral Blade. Wraith King can choose between summoning skeletons or dealing additional curse damage when attacking. Valve is never afraid to change things up, and I love that. If anyone wanted a example of what the Dota 2 community can be like, and they still think they're winning when they say this, don't come back to Dota, please, bro. You peaked, blamed community, and left. Please stay gone. And yet he's here, still in the chat. And I'm not even under the Dota category. He went out of his way to go to my channel because he's still following me and said that. That's awesome. That's awesome. As if I would ever make my decisions based on people like you. Dota. There's many awesome people in the Dota 2 scene. I did not blame the community. I only blamed the bad eggs, and he just self-identified. He just self-reported. Alright, general updates. The update introduces 2 new mechanics for each hero: innate abilities and facets. Innates are abilities that are present on the hero for the entire game, every match, yeah. And the innate can be viewed on the hero page. There are 2 types of innates. Some grant a unique effect. For example, Faceless Void slows enemy attack projectiles within range, whereas Dawnbreaker reveals the whole map to allies when the sun rises. Some innates change a hero ability to have 5 levels, yeah. Kunkka's Tidebreaker and Legion Commander's Moment of Courage now starts at level 1 and can still be upgraded 4 times more like normal. Dude, speaking about Kunkka, I've been seeing some Dota 2 tournament clips. It is insane, it is crazy that Valve releases patches in the middle of large tournaments. It's insane. Like, players were waking up to a new world. Like, doing cataclysmic overhaul of, like, you go practice, you go to a tournament, you're ready, you've got your strats, you've got your draft sheets. It is incredibly based by Valve. Before we go through some more of this text, let's take a look at some clips and videos. All right, let's look at some. Let's look at this one. This is Dota Cinema video from 2 days ago when the news was hot. Hero Facets new spells patch 7.36. Massive Serpent Ward. Wait, hold on. Let me see. Shadow Shaman. That's one of my favorites. Summons a single massive Serpent Ward. Okay. With 10 times damage and bounty values. 10 times bounty value. So it's going to be something like 220 gold or something. And 7.5 times the health. Cluster Cluck. Okay, I see what you cocked up there. Can be cast on allies to apply a basic dispel, Hex, and make them invulnerable for 0.1 seconds before turning them into a chicken with increased movement speed. So you're basically pick-polling them, cleansing them, and you're doing a 0.1 second post-cleanse, which is an incredibly short period. Creates additional uncontrollable chicken illusions. They're invulnerable, so you can block if you do the time right. You can block a massive damage during that. Ally duration 2, ally chickens 3. What is this icon? Creates 3 other chicken illusions as well. Foul play. So it makes 3 extra chickens. Ally movement speed goes up. That's so funny, man. Wow. And they kind of randomly walk in directions or what? Whoa, that's a big snake. Where did you summon that from? He's very happy to see Sven. Mana Thirst. Passively grants attack damage when an enemy hero's mana falls below 60%. And this is anti-mage, surely, right? Yeah. Passively grants attack damage when an enemy hero's mana falls below 60%, with the bonuses increasing as their mana falls further. If the enemy's mana falls below 15%, anti-mage gains the maximum amount of damage, as well as vision and true sight of that hero. Damn. Applies to enemy heroes within... It's a little bit like Illidan in Heroes of the Storm, which is of course what anti-mage was based on, not on the HOTS one, but on Warcraft 3. After you get level 20 with Illidan and HOTS, he starts getting vision of low health enemies globally. Wait, is that true for everyone on the map? Like Bloodseeker? It's Mana Seeker. So if you're very low mana and you're farming, 2500. Oh, okay, okay. Reading as usual is OP. Yeah, it's not global like with Illidan. Applies to enemy heroes within 2500 range. Bonuses stack per hero. So he gets more damage if there's many people with low mana nearby. Oh, wow, that's very good. But what is this icon? Is this icon the identifier that it is only active if you picked this facet? I suppose that's what it is. Facet icon. Yeah, okay. So they drop below. And he has vision of them now. So you leave. And then you see where they go. Ah, it doesn't reveal extra vision around them. You just see them. Okay, so it's not like they're revealing their allies. It's like a body in a Kodo Beast in Warcraft 3. Sleepwalk, Nightmare. Nightmare units walk in Bane's chosen direction. Iker of Niktasha. Bane's attribute. Okay. Oh, you vector target it. I thought you were going to control them afterwards. So you got to pick it early. Ruptured units are pushed when attacked by Bloodseeker. Jeez. Oh, that hurts. Damn. But could this be bad? I mean, I guess you're fast as Bloodseeker usually, but aren't you going to miss some attack timings while you're pushing people away? That might not be super good. Yeah. Bloodseeker's pushed as well. Wait, he's pushed alongside with them? It's unobstructed pathing on Nightmare, so it goes through trees then. It sounds bad if you've scaled as a BS. Yeah. Maybe it's for Bloodseeker support. Oh, but you keep up with them. Oh, so you go on a conveyor belt together. That's interesting. Then it's pretty good, I guess. I mean, it could still be bad, but you're doing damage, so... Oh, okay, yeah, you can control where they're going by changing position. So it's a skill issue. If it's bad, you have bad skill, right? Cinderbrew is now a rolling barrel of ale that drenches enemies in its path and explodes at the end. Like the Hobbit. Oh, you don't walk on it. Power cogs form in a larger radius. Oh, wow. Huge cog. Poison touch. Every 4 attacks, the poison will deal additional damage and split to additional enemies in a 450 AoE. 4 attacks. Yeah, my Dota brain is coming back. Apple from behind. Passive effect. Other heroes' deaths empower your next exorcism. Witchcraft. We're not even looking at the second facet each time. Because they're... Oh, it's not the second facet. It's the innate. Witchcraft. Death profits occult knowledge. Deepens with experience. Gaining movement speed. For what? Per level? Yo, is this a new Arcana too? Those spirits, I don't recognize them. 0.5 movement speed and CDR per level. Cool. After a short formation time, creates a wall out of kinetic energy that enemies cannot pass. Maybe this will make me good at Disruptor. No, I don't think so. I think Disruptor is one of my worst heroes. I have the most deaths on him for sure. Whoa, we're bowling? Enemies killed with Enchant Totem are sent flying, dealing damage to enemies they hit. So cool. Oh, it's decent damage. Creates a blister in space-time. Oh, who's this for? Faceless. Altering the movement, attack, cost, projectile, and turn rate speed of all units inside. Wait, what happened to normal Chronosphere? What happened to the normal circular Chronosphere? Still exists? It's still there, but you can choose. This one replaces Chrono I've picked. Is this the one that I saw at the top of the... it's like the square, the box, the diamond Chronosphere? So... Enemies are... and plus 5 void. Huh. Enemies are leashed inside the time zone. Duration 6 seconds. Attack speed manip to 30. Movement speed manip 70. Cast speed manip. But is this... Why would this be better? Allies have... Oh, allies have increased speed. Ah, so you don't mess up your allies anymore with the Chronosphere. Everyone can walk inside and manipulate the enemies that are almost not moving. Tinker's dead? I know, it's so great. It's so nice. No more rearm on items. I'll tell you what, my number one wish list for Dota was Tinker does not rearm Scythe of Vice with... yeah, and even the other items is kind of whatever, but like, that was so stupid. Yeah, Shivas and Scythe of Vice. Like, it is stupid that he could reset Hex and perma-hex someone alone. But of course, Dota 2 is also a game of things that are broken. So you can't remove everything. Wow, that's a really big Chronosphere. Looks beautiful. But I will say, Tinker and his rearm on items was not nearly as bad as Broodlords and Swarmhouse ever were. So it's not like I'm tilted about Tinker or something. I didn't play long enough to get tilted about any hero. Like, yeah, sure, I think it's BS. But you don't meet him often enough for it to really matter. Huge radius. And Lina got really fast. Wow, that's so good. Duel, Spoils... Dude, I saw Legion Commander can get like an 8 seconds full HP block or something. It's insane. Tide has had a best change and a big one. Alright, I'll look up some of my favorite heroes. You guys can recommend me some as well. We'll watch some more clips and I'll go through some of the written notes. When a duel is won, units that damage the loser during the duel will receive a small amount of permanent damage. Wow. Oh wait, I thought they were gonna get like brain damage or something. Like they lose HP permanently. No. They co-benefit. They co-benefit units that... Oh, but that could be the enemy as well, right? Wow. No, that's us. Ah. Winner. Everyone wins together. Chain Frost lingers on its last target if it fails to bounce and can bounce again if new targets become available in the next 2.5 to 4.5 seconds. Wow, quite useful. That's very quite useful. Okay. Damn, very restrictive. Lifestealer gains 2 HP whenever he kills a unit. Oh, wow. Wow. Wait. Okay, so if you're doing very well as a carry, you can have 100 last hit in the first 10 minutes. That's 200 health. That's crazy. And in a longer game, you could have 400 last hit. So that's 800 health. That's very good. Very good. He can also deny mobs from 75%. What? He can start denying mobs from 75? They're breaking the core fundamentals of the game. They're making it more complex in a way. Very nice for true fans of the game. And it's not like you need to know everything when you play. After casting Finger of Death, Lion switches from ranged to melee attacks. What? And gains bonus damage and cleave. Enemies killed within 3 seconds of being punched. Oh, he's punching. Will add Finger of Death stacks. Oh my god. That's so cool. I want to see how that looks. Okay. Alright then. Have fun in Turbo, guys. You get so many stacks now, it's crazy. Yeah. Reverse Polarity pushes enemies away all around Magnus instead of pulling enemies that are in front of him. Reverse Polarity. Okay. Wow. Solar Flare gradually increases the daytime vision range, attack speed, and damage of Mirana and all allied heroes. Grief Polarity. Reaching maximum power after 8 seconds. Daytime vision bonus increases 3 times faster than attack speed and damage. Allies receive 50% of the bonus. Wow. Muerta places a sacred altar. Ofrenda. A friend. No, it probably means sacrifice, offer. Right? It sounds like a friend. Ofrenda. A Muerta places a sacred altar at the targeted location. When respawning, Muerta will spawn at the Ofrenda and destroy it, putting the ability on cooldown. Muerta can't select the Ofrenda and force it to destroy itself. Only one Ofrenda can exist at a time. Cooldown 60 seconds, 50 mana, and 300 what? Health? Is this 300 health? Oh, cast range. Wait, they have a new icon for cast range. I don't think I've ever seen this icon. It's new, yeah? Pretty cool. The icon is cool and the ability is cool. Reminds me of Gul'dan in Heroes of the Storm. Gul'dan's demonic circle. Coup de Grace procs every 5 attacks on the same hero or 3 attacks on non-hero units. That did not look like... Oh, yeah, 5 attacks. Yeah. What's the double skull? 100% more damage too? Yeah. That feels pretty strong. It kind of like Jingu, but just damage. The Muerta respawn works with Aegis. Okay, so Muerta could set up one of those things in the barracks line. Oh wait, she could just set it at home. All in on your barracks. And then when her Aegis dies, she just teleports to safety when she respawns. That's pretty damn good, man. This video doesn't show innates. Yeah, this video doesn't seem to be about innates, just about facets. Illusory Orb can now be vector targeted to manipulate the orb's travel path. Oh my god. The orb moves faster and lasts longer, but if it exceeds the max cast range, it will be destroyed. Oh my god. Oh, it's trick shot. It's football and tennis trick shots. Oh, Jesus. Wow, she just became even more 5-head. Oh, hell no. I'll never play a hero like that. That's way too difficult. Silencer cannot be silenced. Irrepressible. Wow. If Silencer kills an enemy hero, he permanently steals 2 intelligence. Brain drain. Yeah, that's the standard innate. Oh, so he doesn't need to pick Glaives of Wisdom anymore for that. I bet some Elden Ring and Dota 2 backseaters would love this facet. Cannot be silenced. Yeah, and you know another thing you missed in the game? And do you know why you're really very, very bad? And why you're playing the game wrong? Yeah. And I'll be like, I'll press permaban, it doesn't work. Silenced? Yeah. Why does it say silenced if he can't be silenced? Don't you think it should just not show then? I'm not back to Dota, I'm just looking at some of the highlights of the patch, Rocket Hamburger. But I've never excluded maybe playing again sometime. I do know if I do, it's gonna 100% be sub mode. Because I can already see, I thought you said that. Yeah, no, it's... it would 100% be sub mode only, just to get rid... Otherwise it's like banning all the time, right? Techies can use items in their backpack as if they were in their inventory. Backpack? Oh, 9 slots. It's like a better version of Meepo's neutral item can be a purchased item something. Cool. Drinking Buddies. Tusk reaches out to tag an allied unit, pulling them closer. Once tagged, both Tusk and his tagged ally gain movement speed and attack damage. Plague wards can be attached to allies. Oh my god. It's Abathur hat. No. It's, what's that cat called in League of Legends? What's that cat called in League of Legends? My favorite hero in League. Yumi, yeah. You put little Yumis on people. Focus fire no longer requires a target. Instead, firing at random enemies within Windranger's attack range. Oh my god, that sounds so bad. What are you gonna do against Blade Mail? Fires a fixed number of attacks per second and can only hit the same enemy hero for every 4 shots. Prioritizes heroes. It's so bad. It's Sylvanas Q, except there's Blade Mail here, so it's like Sylvanas Q against Genji Kunai Deflect. Like, well, congrats, you just played yourself. Unfocused fire, yeah. It is a lot of damage. Oh, it's like Vala's Strafe from HOTS. It's actually like Vala's Strafe from HOTS. A very nice noob ability. Good damage. Curses units that Wraith King... Yeah, you could just get BKB and then Blade Mail doesn't work, for sure. 88 shots in 8 seconds, that's crazy. Curses units that Wraith King attacks... am I getting this right? They keep showing only half the facets, right? Like, this is not an exhaustive, complete overview. They're just showing whichever they thought was coolest per hero to show. So you don't have to go with these, and I don't even know the alternative yet. Yeah, 2 choice. Curses units that Wraith King attacks, dealing a flat amount of damage, and a percentage of the attack damage again after a delay. Vampiric Spirit's lifesteal applies to the cursed damage, and a unit cannot be cursed again for a short period of time. Cursed damage 70%. Pure damage 80%. A little bit like variance bonus damage in HOTS. Innate Abilities, Part 2, new passive spells. This is about passives. Oh my god. Wait, look at the minimap again. Jeez. That's crazy. That's so broken. This is totally fair. It makes the whole game lag, by the way. Oh. Wow. Whenever Disruptor takes more than 250 damage from any source within 400 radius, all nearby enemies within are pushed back up to a 400 unit distance. This can work against you, no? What happens with the electric fence? Would they be pushed against the side? What if you do a ult, but no fence? Then you push them out of your own web. This could be really bad. But this is a passive, it's always active. What's this? It's good. Levels with distortion field. Levels with chronosphere. Okay. Enemy attack projectiles within 500 radius are also slowed by 25%. It is very good, huh? Spirit of the Forest. Levels with Nature's Call. Nature's Prophet gains bonus damage for each tree within 300 and a multiplier of that same bonus for each treant. Oh, okay. So he's generally just gonna want to be standing nearer trees to do bonus damage. It's not super obvious. Gyrocopter can disassemble most items. What? Oh my god. What another rule breaker. That's crazy, dude. Things that aren't supposed... Wait, can you give your item to him to disassemble? Can allies give him items so he can disassemble them? And he can sell recipes for full price. Oh, that's crazy. No? Oh, okay. Huskar does not have mana. Mana casts of items are converted into health casts. What? I don't know if I like that. There's a lot of heroes that don't have mana in Heroes of the Storm and League, and generally I feel like that's a really strong part of Dota 2, that everyone has mana, and that therefore it is a weakness that can be abused. Defilement. Leshrac gains AoE per intelligence. What? Wait, did they remove it from the Bloodstone or not? Let me see. Bloodstone. Or does that still have enlargement? No, it still has enlargement. What? But it's not a lot of radius, right? Per intelligence. It's just a bit. Supernatural. Muerta can always attack when she's ethereal. Okay. Oh, so she can as a ultimate ethereal, but now she also can as E-bladed. Oh, you missed one. Okay, Marci. All allied careers gain 3 bonus levels and 1 bonus health. Special delivery. 3 bonus levels? Oh, so everyone can fly immediately at level 1. Oh my god, that's very nice as supports. Oh, I have a flying support. I have a flying courier at level 1. And they're faster. Bounty Hunter counter. Bounty Hunter counter. Thank you, Gavin. And 1 bonus health. What does 1 bonus health mean? Can you no longer melee hit a courier at once? Because right now couriers are 2 hits by ranged, 6 hits by creeps, and 1 hit by melee. So now they take 3 hits instead of 2. Okay, so you can kill them in 1.5 melee hits, aka 2. And 3 ranged hits. They have 1 pip left after a melee hit. But and 7 hits from tower instead of 6. Muerta can always attack when she's ethereal. Can always attack ethereal targets. Oh! When attacking ethereal targets, all of her attack damage is dealt as magical damage. Wait, hold up. That's crazy. So she can no longer be E-blade blocked by an enemy when she's in physical form. And you can no longer dodge her with Ghost Scepter, even when she's not ulting. And it will all be dealt as magical, so it will bypass physical armor. That's really good in general. This patch makes me want to pick up Dota again, KekW. Don't do it, Chosen Mate. We got out. We were warned before we came in. We got out. No one is surprised about the reason we got out. Right? Except a couple of toxic eggs that are like, no, you talk bad about my game, and now I don't want you back anymore because I'm hurt. That's like, no, like everybody understands. Like I had thousands of people, okay, almost. I had hundreds of people come to me after I did my video why I quit. They're like, I get it, man. I get it. In fact, it resonated big time with me. Feel the same way. Don't go back in, man. We're out. Of course, I haven't uninstalled the game yet, but I thought maybe I need to talk about the game sometimes, right? And I'm curious about changes. Just keep up. Doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything. I might test one game off stream. Yeah, just a test, because probably everyone is bad now anyway, so it's not going to be so hard, right? Everyone is confused. When attacking ethereal targets, all of her attack. That's crazy. That's really cool. Very cool. Have you been watching Pro Dota at all? Sometimes. I've been watching some Yapsor and some Pro Dota. Not that much, but I don't have that much time to look right now. Regardless, it's summer, so it's a lot of streaming, a lot of YouTube, a lot of gardening. Nyx Assassin can detect invisible heroes within 400 units of himself. Oh. Wow. Mixed sense. Very funny. Interesting. I would like to hear about your garden. Yeah, maybe I'll make a Grubby Gardens YouTube channel one day. When taking lethal damage, Shadow Shaman receives a strong dispel and survives as a 1 HP chicken. Incoming damage is reduced to 0 for 3/4 of a second. That's his innate? Look at that shit-eating smile. Look at that grin. Gardening IRL stream? Yeah, maybe someday. I just played as Weaver versus Nyx. I didn't know this until halfway through the game. I was so confused. Really? You just went to play without reading the patch notes? Or if you did read, you only looked at your heroes. So you just went to play a game that you know and love without doing a 12-hour scientific dissertation about everything that changed? Wow, that's really irresponsible. Dost thou even full-time the game? I never read patch notes based. What a casual. I mean, it's a video game, not a job. Yeah, I know. I'm in agreement with that. I think you can do anything you want. You don't have to read anything. It's just a game, lol. Like what? You're gonna piss off your ranked allies. Get a life, am I right, guys? High five. Psh. Anyway, I would probably be a little annoyed if that was my ally. But that's not illegal. So he gets hit. Turns into a chicken. They're all invincible for a bit. Wow, that's really funny. When Undying dies, he will instantly respawn in the fountain. Begins the game on cooldown of 8 minutes. 8 minutes cooldown. When Undying dies, he always instantly respawns. So he could fight. Don't bro me. Don't bro me, guys. What you don't understand is streaming drops your maths abilities by a lot. It's the feeling of being studied. Don't bro me. 8 minute cooldown. He could feed a lot. If you have an account buying Undying on your team, he could feed a lot. This is so efficient. Especially if you're being high ground pushed. That's amazing. Streaming temporarily reduces your IQ by 40%. Not temporarily. Streamer brain is a long-term condition. Worse than long COVID. He doesn't die, he just gets teleported there. Yeah, so he's actually not that dead. Champion of Gorroth patch. What is Champion of Gorroth? What's this? Warlock, 6 hearts. Ogre Mage.
Chaos, come. Chaos,
What? It's awesome!
Your middle
My
tower
Warlock!
is under attack.
How much damage does it do? Quite a lot. But not more than usual, I think. It's because they got Bloodlust, so that's why. I hope this stays. It's kicking it. I hope this stays. What does it do? Elden Ring boss crossover, yeah. Succubus golem skin, please. Oh, you coomer. This is bugged. Oh. Valve broke Phantom Assassin. Planar pocket. Wait, what happened? Huh? So, she daggers someone, and Spirit Breaker redirects it to himself. But then why does it go so many times to everybody? PA talent, planar pocket, does multiple spells at once. Triple dagger interaction. Yeah. Check the comments for explanation. Title is misleading. They didn't break PA, they broke SB. This patch is some of the most fun I've had in months in Dota. First game of the new patch, my entire team 5-manned up at bottom lane for the first 10 minutes of the game. What rank is he in? Why would nobody would do that? Planar Pocket redirects single target spell to Spirit Breaker. PA Talent turns it into 3. All daggers are not directed to SB are now recast to SB. And then all of those also turn into 3. So it would keep happening, except Planar Pocket has a limited duration. They tri-laned at the tourney yesterday? Really? It's an infinite loop. Maybe it's not infinite. Maybe it's only infinite because while it's still up, or until everyone is dead. Maybe it's until everyone is dead. It's not infinite. Don't worry about it. It only lasts until you're dead. Maybe he could stop using Planar Pocket? Would that be an idea, maybe? I think that could be an okay reaction. Reverse polarity. Wait, what happened to his TP? He's TPing. And then his TP is on 80 seconds cooldown and he cancelled it. Stupid RPM. This game is full. Oh my god. This is gonna happen a lot and I love it. Oh, that one was good. This guy reads patches. What a chap. Very cool. Next, Clockwerk can push cogs. How? Okay, that's ridiculous. How does he do it? Does he attack it? But they don't lose health. Man, so many of my favorite heroes. He can't kill his own cogs anymore. Oh, so he just opens it. Ah. Blink wrong way, buddy. Wow. Oops. Who's this? Wait, what's his passive? Casting a spell temporarily increases the area of effect for all subsequent spells. So you need some spammy spell. He has 8 stacks, 9 stacks. Oh, Jesus. He's like an Elden Ring boss now. Dude, it seems balanced. A ravage every second. They're almost burn stunned. Oh, wow. So, we lost Tinker Rearm on Scythe of Ice, but we gained so much more power. Ten Sloted Techies. Looks like they stole the idea from HOTS. Yeah, I mean, I don't think we should call things stole. Like, Blizzard is not an original company with many things too, right? Like, nobody who can claim full originality? Who's not inspired by things? Let's reserve stealing for things that are like really, really. But anyway, yes, I think they might be inspired. We can say stole. Like, all right, I think they took some ideas from HOTS. They all take ideas from each other, the MOBAs, right? It's because BT, what's that? BTD05A. It looks a lot like the passives from HOTS, but the fact that you can pick before the game, that's different, right? Only, like even Varian chooses at level 4, but it's a bit like Varian. Where your hero is very different based on your choice. What the hell? He's got a Reaver in his back pocket, but he's wasting... Wait, hold up a second. The neutrals? Don't tell me the neutrals also have effect. No. Neutral items work too? He's even using neutrals, WTF. So he's got this thing which gives spell damage. 8% spell damage, 10% spell damage or something. But you lose vision in the day. And then 10% magic resist and immolation aura. And then ascetic cap. And then he has a Reaver there. And then he has spell protect from Eternal Shroud. And from this one. And from Glimmer Cape and the cloak. So his magic resistance is 86%. he almost fully assembled the unwavering condition level 20, not level 20. The unwavering condition tier 5 60-minute item. But without the loss of health that is associated with that. That's insane. How do you like it? I like it. Yeah, I am invincible! Yeah, sure. It's pretty healthy health regeneration as well, 107.3. I never thought of Techies as the most survivable hero, but I suppose he is. Lol, kill me. Try then.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Dire's bottom tower.
Unfair, bro. It's so stupid. I like how you can hear all those laugh lines from heroes. You hear the monkey laughing. I like the design space of facets being decided post-draft, as it can help pivot drafted heroes in a way that there may be less super hard out drafts, although not all facets currently really enable this philosophy, I feel. Yeah, 100% agree on everything you said, Autiosities. Seeing certain chatters that I love in chat again, that I haven't seen in chat for a few months when I didn't play Dota, makes me feel nostalgic. So many good times too. So many good chatters. Pet the chat. What up, Otiosities? Cool Ranch Dorito Girl. Yeah. A lot of good ones. Alright. DOTA2 OST. Let's look at some of my favorite heroes. In the text. I'm not going to do a full review, it's too much. Hoodwink. Let's start with Hoodwink. Everyone is happy. Everyone is laughing. What happened to you, baby? Mistwood's Wayfarer. New innate ability. Passive. Levels up with Sharpshooter, which is her ult. Hoodwink passive. Did I just say that? Some of us are here, but we stay silent since we don't know much of the other games you play. Sure. Miss you, man. Miss you guys too. New innate ability, passive levels up with Sharpshooter. Hoodwink passively has up to 30% chance to redirect attacks into a tree, destroying it. I'm looking forward to the first clip where this kills a random Monkey King on a tree. Steam has shown Dota players are almost entirely isolated within Dota more than any other fan base. Yeah, I've noticed that via the side effects of Dota consumption. That makes sense. That's an interesting stat. But do you have a source for it? What the war? I'm inclined to believe it though. But I have still seen many Dota chatters and players, people that enjoy Dota, also enjoy other games. It is possible. For instance, many people that enjoy Slay the Spire with me recently also played Dota with me before. Go nuts, Facets. So this is just nice, like extra damage block, right? But Scurry no longer gives evasion. Ah, so they uncoupled it from Scurry and gave it in the passive. Go nuts. While Scurry is active, Hoodwink gains extra attack range and cast range. Okay, this is what you used to have on Scurry. And this is what you used to have. So they uncoupled, because Scurry was extremely overloaded with functionality. That's why it's actually better to level it up, according to myself, and almost as important of an opinion. Oh my god, I haven't thought about him for so long, I forgot his name. Ari. There we go. It was slightly further in my recall, Senny. But I remember now. Before anyone said it, so that's nice. Yeah. But it's been a while since I've thought about him. But yeah, that's why you level up Scurry first, because it had so much functionality. Does that innate count as unpierceable evasion? It feels like it is unpierceable evasion. Because it is not actually evasion, it's redirection. Tree bounce trick shot, alternative facet. If there are no available targets to bounce, Acorn shot will look for a tree within its search radius instead. Bouncing off a tree sets the remaining number of bounces to 1. That's bad. Wait. Huh? Okay, so if I Acorn shot with this facet active next to someone, either with my autocast or on purpose missing, it will hit them twice instead of once, right? Yeah, you can hit an isolated target twice now. 1 extra bounce if there's only one. Oh, that's kind of good. Yeah, okay. Level 10 talent, 40% Scurry evasion when active, replaced with +1 second. Oh, no more 80% evasion. Yeah, that was crazy. Wasn't it 80? It was a lot. I think it was 80. 1 extra second of Scurry duration. Bushwhack radius replaced with Sharpshooter pierces debuff immunity. That's pretty good at level 25. Excuse me. Okay. That's Hoodwink. Let's look at Shadow Shaman. We kind of saw him already. Yeah, we saw this already. What else? Small changes. Okay. What are my other favorites? Warlock. Strength gain decreased. Deserved. I have very low KD, very high KDA with Warlock. Very low death count with him. And he's so tanky. New innate ability. Passive levels up with Chaotic Offering. Whenever a unit dies under the effect of any Warlock's abilities, a minor imp is spawned in their place. Wait. Was that already part of Fatal Bonds? Did Fatal Bonds always create little imps now, or only after Shard? Only after Shard, right? So now it's baseline. Imps are uncontrollable and will run towards nearby enemies, favoring heroes under the effects of Fatal Bonds. Yeah. Imp health, sure. Aghanim Shard improves the value level by 1, sure. Champion of Gorroth. Permanent immolation damage per second is increased by Warlock's current health and mana regen. Oh. Cool. Black Grimoire XP. They have lots of new icons. Grants Black Grimoire neutral item. What? Hero kills and assists. Infuse the Black Grimoire with charges. This item can be used in either neutral or regular item slots, but cannot be put in a backpack or dropped. It's a curse? Like many black books are, the Necronomicon, like the book in Baldur's Gate 3 and other books. It's kind of a curse. So it's a bit like a Divine Rapier. But you can be consumed to grant 250 experience per charge. For that, press right click on the item and select consume the item option. Oh, they wanted to make sure you don't do it by accident. So this is a tedious UI move to consume it. Lots of clicks. But they want to make sure you don't accidentally click it. So it's to help you. Black Grimoire starts with 1 charge and on cooldown of 420 seconds. That makes sense because 7 minutes, they don't want you to get bonus XP before anyone... So it's matched to the Wisdom rune. It's too big of an imbalance if you get XP so early. They even removed XP Totem from Warcraft 3, you know? XP Tome. And then some changes here as well. Cost range decreased from Chaotic Offering. Yeah. What else do I want to see? Ogre? I mean, I don't really need to see Ogre Magi, but let's check him out. Remains as an innate ability. Passive can't be leveled up. No longer increases multicast chance by default. Each point of strength increases Ogre Magi's chance to multicast. Learning curve. Ogre starts the game with 0 ability points, but gains 3 ability points at level 2. And regular ability points for the remainder of the game. Level requirement for all abilities and talents is decreased by 1. Learning curve. Okay. Pretty bad for First Blood. I love this. I love heroes that grief you, that grief your team. So you're gonna go to lane as an Ogre Mage 5, which is already borderline grief. Or you're gonna go First Blood and you're just doing nothing. You're just a dumb ogre. Right? You know what they should do? They should call him Ogre at level 1 when you pick this. Not Ogre Magi. Because it's like the Warcraft 2. Where they start by saying... where like as soon as you level up to Ogre Magi, they're like, we're not brainless anymore. It should be funny. Learning curve sounds like Chromie from HOTS. Yeah, a little bit. That's true. Search for this one to see the UI. I don't know. I don't know where to find it. It's fine. I don't have to like go into detail or everything. Yeah, let me see some other things. Some item changes, item rebalancing. Roshan's banner is reworked. Now grants invulnerability to allied lane creeps in a radius. First post. Oh, that's so cute. That's funny. Effect radius decreased. Invulnerability to lane creeps in a radius. Creeps lose banner's effect immediately when they leave radius. Banner duration is only 2 minutes. Melee hero attacks now deal double damage to Roshan's banner. Cast range was decreased from global to 1200. So you have to protect it. You have to be at where it is. It's no longer a passive send somewhere and forget. To be honest, I didn't like it at all, the previous version. I think this is better. It could be pretty crazy. You could do some things with the new Tusk shard, because I saw Tusk can make a really long igloo with his shard. Earthshaker Tusk, you hold up loads of creeps. You come in with like 5 creep waves. Some of that old school Dota creep pooling shenanigans when you could do like 10 waves and then just win the game off the back of it. Bring them all in, place the banner. Now you got a high ground push. Pretty cool. Oh, Tidehunter, one of my favorites, yeah. What happened to Tidehunter? Oh, Naga! How could I forget about Naga? Eel Skin, new innate ability, passive can't be leveled up. Naga Siren gets 6% evasion for each Naga Siren within 900 radius. Naga Siren's third basic ability when the facet is picked. Oh, only Riptide, only when you pick it. Passive, every 6 attacks from Naga and illusions, Naga Siren and images will do AoE, armor damage, yeah. And level 10 talent, more Riptide damage, okay. So this preserves her normal functionality. Otherwise, Deluge. New Naga Siren third basic ability when this facet is picked. Active ability, Naga Siren and all of her images hit nearby units with a damaging wave of water that reduces enemy status resistance for 5 seconds. Mana cast. Damage 80 to 230. Wait. Surely not like 5 illusions all doing 230. They rotated the image. Oh, oh, that's lazy. It's a 90-degree image rotation. That is lazy as hell. They don't multi-hit? Oh. So this is support Naga. It baseline damage that does not rely on physical ramp. And doesn't rely on them staying alive. And doesn't stack with others. And also makes them more CCable. It's support Naga. Dude, they needed to do something about the Scepter and Real In thing. That was such a joke. Let's see how it is now. Scepter now allows Ensnare to affect debuff immune. I don't know, this changed so many times. I don't even know what's real anymore. No longer granted by Ag Scepter. Now it is acquired on leveling Ensnare for the first time. Okay. Naga support going up in value. Now requires Aghanim Scepter to affect debuff immune units. Maximum range increased from 1400 to 6. Did they do something about like BKB being abused by, you know, Glimpse and Kunkka E? Because now everything can pierce it. Because that was a weird debuff on BKB. Or is that still a thing? No, that's still a thing. Okay. Maximum range increased. Targets that are being reeled in have phased and unobstructed movement. Huh. Can't get stuck behind terrain and people anymore. So you can pull them over the high ground actually. That's quite a lot better now. Kunkka X is shorter now. Ah, runs 1 second less. I see. Makes sense. Channel duration changed from 5 seconds to the length of the remaining Ensnare debuff. Oh. Okay, and it can be longer because of Deluge. Song of the Siren now always heals allies. Shard makes it more. Also mana. For everyone. So, it's all about giving an option to support. Naga support greatly improved. I'll check Skywrath and then Tidehunter, and then I'm done. For now. Base mana regen increased by 0.25. New innate. Passive levels up with Mystic Flare. Passive... Okay. I didn't like... But I didn't disagree, but I didn't like you had to open with Q. Here's how I like to play Skywrath. And the fact that you had to do Q first to initiate your spell Lifesteal was just tedious, because I like to open with E and an R, and the Q arrives very late. Shield of the Scion. Grants a second innate ability, Shield of the Scion. Whenever Skywrath Mage damages an enemy hero with any of his abilities. Ah, magical damage barrier. Each stack protects from magical damage. 10 magical damage plus 1 per Skywrath Mage level. 15 second stack duration. Each stack has its own duration. Interesting. What was he getting before? From Because he had something like this. He was getting physical armor and magic resistance. Oh, armor and intelligence, which is magic resistance to a degree. Grants a second innate ability. Oh, they're all passives. You choose which facet becomes an innate extra. Whenever Skywrath Mage damages an enemy hero with any of his abilities, each instance of magical damage reduces all ability cooldowns by 0.1 second. That's nice. That is nice. Mystic Flare now instantly kills illusions. Nice. Very nice. Kinda miss you playing Dota. Me too when I'm reading this. Thanks, Seven. Cheers. How many instances of damage is Skywrath's ult? I'm not sure, but my guess is like 20. Tidehunter, blubber. 20, yeah? Is it really 20? New innate ability, passive can't be leveled up. Tidehunter removes negative status effects if he takes over 500 damage from player-controlled sources. The spell type strong, damage counter resets after 7 seconds. Kraken Swell, base strength is 27. Krill Eater, base strength is 22. Strength gain is 3.5. Strength gain is 4. So the tipping point is at level 10. So Kraken Swell, more strength pre-10. Kraken Shell, damage block permanently increases by 1 to 4 each time an enemy hero dies under the effects of Anchor Smash. Oh, that's that weird level 15 or 20 talent. It's now become embedded in a facet. You know what? They've been cooking this patch for a long time. I feel like many talents that were given in the smaller patches over the last 12 months were to try them out for their massive update, and people have been doom and glooming and saying like this and that and like where's our patch. They get, honestly, it's such a spiral, and they were wrong. Valve delivered big time. Krill Eater, base attack range decreased by 50. Okay, attack range is increased by 5 every level. So Krill Eater is... it makes so much sense, actually. Krill Eater. You're scaling. You're consuming. You need XP levels, but eventually you'll be as big as a whale. Anchor Smash. Radius decreased by 50. Radius increased by 5 every hero level. Okay, so it's all about level 10 plus. That's how the scaling has gone. From level 11 onwards, Krill Eater is bigger in every way than Kraken Swell, except in this way, damage block. So you can either have more health and more block the entire game, or as a Krill Eater, if you want to scale and play core, and you'll probably take over the effectiveness of Kraken Swell by level 20. He also gets size as he gets more level, he becomes massive. Oh, that's so cute. Cool, alright. Before I get too deep into it and all the changes, that's gonna be it for me in reviewing this. I'm gonna play some Warcraft 3, but I hope you enjoyed watching this. And let me know what you think or what has been your favorite change. Cheers.